Greetings and salutations, wonderful people, and welcome to part 27 of the Elder Scrolls 1 Arena. In the last episode, we learned where we had to go, which was the Crystal Tower, and now we are in the Temple of the Mad God, and I was mapping it out when I ran out of time. So, let's pick that back up right where we started, shall we? So, we are trying to clear through this temple, because we're looking for a gem. Not a crystal gem, mind you. And so far, we have had no luck. There we go. But that's fine. Alright, let's refill my magicka. And let's go ahead and cast Magic Nap. There we go. Alright. So... oh, right. Okay. The Blast of Blowhigh. Blowhigh. I don't remember how to correctly pronounce it. I'm gonna have to look that up later. Cleared almost half of this area. Help me. Oh, right, timer. There we go. Okay. I was ready this time. I can remember things I did 40 minutes ago. Is there a secret? Ow. It's a secret corridor? And so there is. There we go. Got it, okay. There. Oh. I see. That just leads into another section. Okay. So, it isn't on this half. If it is, it's on like the very top. So I suppose we could go check that out right quick if we really wanted to. I regret making that joke earlier in the last part, because for you, that was a week ago, roughly, give or take. For me, that was 5 minutes ago, and now I'm being reminded of the animation where Kermit fights Sukuna, and that's gonna be stuck in my head. I brought this on myself. Oh well. Right, so we're heading all the way north now, so that we can go check for the gem and go see what happens. There is one spell. Ow. There is a spell that does not exist in this game, but it does exist in Daggerfall. It also exists in Morrowind, but it was removed in Oblivion, and it is called Mark and Recall. And what it does is it marks a target and then takes you to that target, and So, for example, you could mark like the inside of a building, and then it would teleport you to that building. There's a bunch of teleportation spells that got added for those two games, and they were really, really cool and convenient. And I wish I had those spells, because it would be really helpful to have the ability to just mark the beginning of the dungeon and then be able to just immediately go there, because I know I'm going to have to do the walk back after this, and I am very lazy and I don't want to have to walk all the way back there. Here we go. I know it's here somewhere. I'll take the long sword in case it's enchanted. Again, I don't plan on mass buying potions again, but if the need arises, then we will do so. I'm also kind of being liberal with my potions, to be fair now. Because I don't need to hold on to them in case I need them later, because clearly I need them later if I'm out of NP. I'm also not above using my super powerful attacks. Are you? That was a very durable monk. There we go. Please. Please give me the gem. I saw something with red eyes over there. Okay, I thought that was something else. Aside from this game, things I have been doing, I've been playing Dragon Age Origins, because I caught the games, the first 3, on a sale a long time ago. And I picked them up, and I've just sort of had them in my Steam library. And I was playing another game, and I was playing it with my Xbox controller, because your Xbox controller can pair to, that was the sound of it just now, if my mic picked it up, but it can connect to your PC. Well, mine died, so I couldn't play that game anymore. So I was like, man, I'm still in a fantasy mood, because I'm always in a fantasy mood, because fantasy is my favorite type of setting. And I was just like, alright, you know, I've been wanting to play these games for a while, so I bit the bullet. Which I'm sure my friend is not happy about, because if there was a BioWare RPG that he wanted me to play, it was the Mass Effect trilogy. I'm sure he doesn't mind. But I started playing those recently, and oddly enough, very fun. I think I'm kind of maturing in my opinion on RPGs. Because when I was a kid, I played Inquisition long time ago. I didn't quite care for it, and I think it's because, you know, when I was younger, I associated RPGs with, like, Skyrim, you know? And I wanted another Skyrim. I didn't want another, you know, I didn't want something that didn't play how I wanted it to. But, you know, I got older and experienced more games. And really, it was... So far, I'm enjoying Origins quite a lot. I am playing... Honestly, the same thing I'm playing here. I'm playing an elf. And I'm also playing a mage, because, again, anything there's a mage in, I will play. And so far, playing a mage in that game is really fun, because there's a lot of like culture aspect to it as much as there is a gameplay aspect, which I appreciate. That there's actually, like, you feel like you are a mage, not just because you have powers, but also, you know, in your upbringing, how people, you know, talk about you, which I think is really cool. I can also see kind of similarities to how I know things like in Mass Effect 1 play out, just sort of like similarities in world building and ideas, things like that. I do also appreciate the codex feature. I think that's really cool, where it explains how the world building works and everything. I like that you get XP for it too, because it encourages nerds like me. If I find out that it was like right around the area I walked in on, and I've spent this entire time rambling to myself when I could have just walked in, grabbed it, and left, I'm going to be rather miffed. But I suspect that is what this is. So I mapped out all of this and no gem. So it's got to be either in the bottom right corner, somewhere along here, or in the top right. That is what it must be. Alright, we'll check this room. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nada. Okay. We'll go check the bottom right first. Because worst case scenario, it's not there. Best case scenario, it is, and it's literally right by the door. Which I would love, because it means I would get to be lazy. Why is this map a frowny face? Why is the room sad? Sorry. A poor room. Alright, let's check the bottom right. Really? There. Now leave me alone. Okay. Okay. Honestly, I expected... I didn't expect it to take this long. I kind of expected to find it very quickly. Alas, I was wrong. Alright, so it's not over here. Yes. I am enjoying Origins quite a bit. I've been playing a lot of fantasy games, actually. Obviously, I am addicted to Final Fantasy XIV. which was one thing that did keep me from recording for like a little bit. It's not the only reason, but it was one of them, because you know, sometimes it's just like I wanna play FF14. But there we go. Well, that's one location. That's not the diamond. I was hoping it was. Okay, it must be somewhere up in here. Yeah, I've been playing that. I've also been playing the Pixel Remaster version of Final Fantasy IV, which is very fun. I've been playing Dragon Age. I've been playing the classic 2009 version of Demon Souls. I'd prefer not to talk about that one because that one is agony. I'm at a bit of a wall in that one. But yeah, and of course I'm playing this game, which is very, very fun, very enjoyable. Like I said, this is the type of game that I wouldn't really like talk while I was playing. I would just put on like YouTube or something else in the background, and then I would just play it and zone out and go through the dungeons, and it was very enjoyable, and I had a grand old time. Which makes this playthrough a lot more challenging because I have to say something interesting or insightful or at the very least entertaining. And I'm bad at that, so I could get better though. There are at least some of you watching, so there's at least a couple people that enjoy my ramblings. Yeah, I like elves. They're very cool. I play a Elezen in 14. Obviously I enjoy a high elves, and if I'm not playing a high elf, I am playing a Breton. I really like Bretons, especially in Morrowind. Honestly, I might pick Breton for Daggerfall, and that way, if I decide to play a Breton in the future games, there's less of an issue. But this game, I really wanted to play a high elf, because I kind of was in like a high elf mood, because you know they're one of my favorite races in this game, because I find the culture so fascinating. You know, this idea, this very sort of Gnostic worldview that the Altmer have, that they were put here by a malicious creator, and they seek to escape this, you know, false world. I just think is very fascinating. And then the Bretons I enjoy a lot because they, you know, what you would think of when you would imagine a medieval like fantasy style thing, where it's like very, very, you know, tournaments and kings and all this other stuff that you're kind of thinking about. Okay. So, and also they're both the magic races, which obviously makes me inclined to like them. And the Bretons also being like half elves, I think is also, you know, really cool. I saw you. I'm surprised that killing a bunch of those hasn't caused me to level up yet. Maybe I'm just that high level at this point. That'd be cool. Honestly, which of those two that I would pick would probably just depend on the game and really just how I was feeling that day. Because like sometimes the Bretons are my favorite, sometimes Helmer are my favorite. Is this where the key is? Or the gem is, please? Are you serious? What flares up and does a lot of good, and when it dies is just a piece of wood? A tree? What flares up and does a lot of good, and when it dies, it's just a piece of wood? Oh, it's a torch. Finally! You have found the diamond Coram Ashland sent you to recover. Only he can use it to see the Crystal Tower's location. Yes! Alright. Alright, we are leaving now. We are not passing go. We are not collecting $200. We are leaving. And hopefully we are going to leave within 8 minutes, because that's how much time on the timer is left. Otherwise, I'm going to take us back to town, and then that is just going to be where we're going to have to start the next episode. So yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I like those two a lot. The Bretons are really cool. In my opinion, a lot because of their sort of like determined. I don't know if like the right word would be like deterministic, but like they're very like the way that they kind of like that saying that I heard at one point described to the Bretons, which was like a find a hill, call yourself a king. That sort of thing is very fascinating to me. Like the idea that they are like people who aspire and really, you know, dedicate themselves to all sorts of stuff, I just think is really cool. And again, obviously, like their magical talent, their history, like how the Bretons like evolved from like human like slaves and elven like overlords. I also find the two interesting in their dichotomy because the Altmer are weak to magic, but the Bretons are actually, they are just as capable as mages, but instead of being weak to magic, they are resistant to magic, which I think is really interesting. Now, obviously, you can abuse that in the game because the way it functions, you can actually, in I believe Morrowind and Oblivion, and to an extent Skyrim, if you take the apprentice sign, then you will actually offset the weakness to magic, but you'll still get the extra magic bonus. Hang on. I need to very quickly reapply my shield. I am lucky he did not decide to throw a fireball at me at any time. There we go. So yeah, I find that very fascinating. Especially with how the Bretons can be kind of treated, you know, where they're kind of like once. Because like if you're looking through like the elf lens, again within that sort of like POV about what they believe reality to actually be, again, a sort of Gnostic point of view, they view the Bretons as like the sons and daughters of race traders. You know, these people who fell in with Lorcan and then got used as breeding stock, basically. But then, from the humans' perspective, it's like, oh wow, you fell in with those elves, like our oppressors. You know, in some ways, you could view the Bretons as like beloved by man because they were born, you know, through no fault of their own. But you could also view them as like everything that the humans hate, as like an instrument of a reminder of their oppression, which is very interesting and a very loaded topic in a fantasy race. But also they have bonuses to speechcraft and conjuration. I really like those skills. I didn't mean to go outside. No. There we go. Oh, right. I have to. Okay. Well. We did manage to get out of the dungeon with time to spare. So let's go turn this in with the Mages Guild. I just realized that I did not mark the Mages Guild down. There's a very easy way to fix that. I suspect, because the guild had specific like things on it, that's the Mages Guild. Yes, it's a grand adventure, and yeah. So you can interpret them differently. I like the High Elves to an extent because, like, obviously I like these like races because they are good at magic, and because I like that, I'm obviously going to pursue the lore of these like races more. Well done, Caetheryn. You have done this guild a service it will not easily forget. I thank you for your efforts. Now, for my part of the bargain. Coram walks to a table where an ornately penned map lies. There, he focuses a shaft of light through the diamond. Shut up. A moment later, he inscribes the location of the Crystal Tower somewhere in the Somerset province onto your map. Alrighty. Well, you know, an hour-ish to get through that section and to access the next part of the Staff of Chaos. Not bad if I do say so myself. Alright. Well, in the next episode, we will begin the process of entering the Crystal Tower and getting the piece of the Staff of Chaos. So, I look forward to doing that next time with you. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Please remember to do all those things the YouTuber asks, because it really does help out a lot. Helps people see, my stuff more, makes the algorithm happy, and that makes me happy. With that said, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.